Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the You Choose series on the VapeTrain Gaming channel. This is episode 7. Shut your grinding up! You're so loud! Good evening to, whatever, you already know. So guys, you ready to find out what Twitter told me I should do next? Stay tuned, you're about to find out. Alrighty, folks. So, are you ready to find out what they said on Twitter? Bam! So, we actually had a tie vote. This is the first time so far. I mean, this is in the past 6 episodes, so I wouldn't expect this to happen that often, but it did happen this time. So we had a tie between finishing the base on Titan and building drones. So I am going to go work and build drones on Titan. Kind of do both because I kind of need, that to work out. Now, Titan's all the way back there, so I need to go get back to base down there. But yeah, this is going to continuously get eaten up, and let's go back to Titan, shall we? Now, while I fly back, I thought I should make sure to mention this. So I am also going to do a couple of videos on designing your own drones. Because honestly, I get a kick out of having drones and having them go and farm stuff for me, because honestly, it gets so tiring to constantly drill by hand, multiple different mining areas and stuff like that, especially on Titan, because the spiders are ridiculous. You're out there trying to mine something and they're just trying to rip you apart. So I am gonna head back to my home platform. Hopefully not too many NPCs have showed up on there. I'm going to put together a couple of my atmospheric drones, mainly just one. I have one that is my favorite, and it constantly is fantastic. I built it on Mars, I built it on Titan whenever I was playing before. It's my favorite. I'm gonna make sure to put the drone designs that I use today up in it's gonna be a link in the description below, and I'll have it up on the workshop for you. So make sure to subscribe to it. Make sure to follow me on there. I'll post the good ones I get, and later on, whenever I do the actual building a drone videos, I will definitely make sure to include all of those on the workshop as well. But yeah, so got a little ways to go here, and we'll get there as soon as possible. All right, guys, so we are home, and the first thing I need to do is I need to establish a projector. Now, projectors allow you to build ships that you've built before. Oh, look, Raider drones. I wonder if those can actually survive in atmosphere, because I'm pretty sure they only have, the thrusters, so I think this thing is literally just going to come crashing down on top, close by. Let's see. Watch it come in. Getting torn up by the gravity. Coming in way too fast. Do I have defenses here? I don't think I do. Ow. Hey. No. Shoot at me, not my stuff. God damn it. I gotta go take care of this thing real quick, because if I don't... Hey, you. Stop that. No more power cell. Jesus. Well, apparently I need to build a little bit more defenses on the platform here, because he just messed up my solar cells. Those always take way too long. Whatever. I've got quite a few other things here. So let me work on doing some repairs real quick, maybe throw some extra defenses here, and then we'll get started on the drone. Alright, so my turrets are finally up and going. Basically, I had my build and repairs all on grind only, because I was grinding up that Reaver ship that was down here. I haven't really had a reason to worry about that anyways. But we're going to work on setting this up. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a rotor. Regular one is just fine. Possibly definitely a projector, that's going to be a requirement. And I'll show you the other way to do it as well. People like to do it with the landing the landing feet, or the landing gears. And the problem people run into with that is they try to build the landing gear not attached to anything, and it doesn't take any power. Like, it doesn't have the power to latch onto things while it's being built. So people forget about that. But I'm going to do it with the rotor just because of the fact that I know without a doubt that I can do that with no problem. So we're going to go ahead and make sure to build this relatively not too close to anything. And we are going to, we have to go and, well, that's going to build all that. Why am I even carrying it? Okay, so this is the new rotor. Go type in rotors here. It should be the last one in the grouping right here. Now we're going to go ahead, do shear inertial tensioner. We're going to rotor lock. We are going to remove the head that's on here already. And then we are going to go in here back to rotors. And we're going to add a small head. Okay? So what that does is it produces a teeny tiny little head on top of the rotor so you can do small grid things, which is fantastic. And here comes another drone. I'm honestly waiting for one of these to just come straight down on top of the base. But I've got enough turrets. I like to believe I won't have to worry about that. But I might fly out here just to guarantee it's not coming straight at us. Yeah. There we go. That is just an angry amount of turrets. Like, they are wrecking it. Bam! Like, right close by. Thank you. Now I shall gather all I can from you using my build and repairs. Alright, so we got a small rotor. We're going to go ahead and take a projector. We're going to slap it right on this thing. Now, there is a lot to know about the directions here. And I've heard a lot of different things where, like, the cross section is the front of it and whatnot. I still don't know. I'm just gonna put it down like that, and that's how we're gonna have it. I will improvise with it whenever I need to improvise with it. So we got a projector. Now I also like to put small blocks all the way around it to provide a little, basically a little bit more what should we call it, stability, because I've had these things wobble a lot and then they just break off. So I do this to make sure it doesn't wobble too much. But yeah, so we got the projector on there, and we are going to go in here, and I want to build my specialty Big Daddy atmospheric drone. And Atmo, no, that's a small one. Where is my big Atmo drone? Monster Atmo drone. That's gonna be the one I'm gonna be using. So, as you can tell, projector, you not working here? On. Monster Atmo drone. There we go. So, one of the other things you have to worry about is whenever you are, like, you're using the build and repair systems, you got to go in here and tell your build and repair systems to not build new. There is a build new. This function, turn this off. Because if you don't, it's going to automatically start building this stuff. And that's not what you want. So we're going to, let's see, I'm probably going to raise this up a little bit. Looks like this is, where's this at? Okay, so we're going to raise this up a little bit. Now, some people say the best way to do it is to sit in a, like, a control station and have it facing towards the projector so you can see it a little bit better. But I mean, I get the gist of it. I can improvise this. Vertical offset. Let's do it that way. Could be out of bounds now. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Up high, looking great. Not colliding with anything. Suspended midair. Now, this build requires a buttload of motors. because the motors are like these large atmospheric thrusters that are on here for the small grid. I think it's like 75 or 80 motors that are involved with these. So you need a lot of them. So the way projectors work is as you saw, you load up a design or whatnot. You get it to project from your projector. And then you make sure that whenever you're trying to build it, that you put blocks directly up to it. So we're gonna build this all the way up. Okay, so when I unite this block, see how they changed? How their color changed? This means I can start constructing this section. Now, remember, when you're building stuff like this, or you're building from a projection, if you start going around the outside, you won't be able to build this stuff in the inside. What was that? That didn't even look like a raider drone. Is that coming from the salvage station, or are they coming to try to salvage my stuff? That won't go well for them. But I will continue commentary once this amount of shots that are going off stop. Okay, people, we get it. It's dead. But, so, now that this can be built, I am going to go ahead and tell my build and repairs to start building this. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to go to my build and repairs, and I'm going to select them all, and I'm going to tell them all to build new. Now, if you start building around the outside, you won't be able to build the stuff on the inside. This will go piece by piece by the stuff that you can build until it's finished. Because remember, if you can't build it, what's the point of having it? So you have to make sure that if you're doing this by hand, that you build from the center outward. Don't build from the outside in, because you won't be able to build it the rest of the way. But, so while this builds, I should have all this stuff learned or open with the, the progression system. The progression system locks you down if you can't, like, if you don't have certain things unlocked in the progression system, it will, I've had moments where it crashed a server while I was doing this, because the build and repairs were trying to build it, but technically I shouldn't be able to build it. So, I don't think it's going to build that last section. All because of this. There we go. It'll be able to build everything now. Okay, put all this stuff back in here. I got a lot of components in here from the Reaver ship that I tore apart. Turns out great. Oh, look at that. Just building it up. Super fast. Building all that it can. Now, I will tell you that if you run across the point where you're like, oh man, I don't have enough to build some of this stuff, realize this is low on motors. These are all low on motors and probably metal grids. Small reactor. It's probably motors. Yeah, motors and metal grids. So I need to find a way to get this bad boy built, and I'm out of half the stuff in here. Also, remember, if you have an antenna built into one of these ships, make sure to double check and make sure that it's not turned to the highest range. Because a lot of the ones that you get off the thing, their range is set super high. And it's just one of those things, man. Like, if you have that thing super high and all of a sudden a Reaver ship's flying by while you're trying to build this, you're gonna have a Reaver ship coming into your base. So I need to build metal grids and motors. So let's see if I have enough. I'm gonna work on building this stuff and I will be back, guys. All right, folks, so the drone is complete. Now this is a pretty big drone. Now remember what I was saying about the antenna? Well, I didn't have access to this antenna yet. Now I do, and it was set to 5,000 kilometers. You don't want that. I only do mine like 150, maybe 200, so if I'm in range, I can do something about it. Now, Yes, it has batteries on it. Yes, they're charging, but you still need to take into effect that you need to make sure that you still have your actual power source available. So I have a small reactor and a large reactor on this. As I said, this is a pretty substantial sized drone. It's called the Monster Atmospheric Droner for a reason. It's a monster. But we should be able to cut the block that's connecting it. And it'll fly. See? Now, one of the things I really need to do, which I have not done, is build a spot for it to connect to the entire platform. That is not a connector. That is not what I clicked on. All right. So we need to build a connector. And I think, no, probably going to do it off to the side here somewhere. Yeah, that's probably the best idea. Let's see. Conveyor block. Conveyor junction. There we go. I think I might just pair it in between these because that's going to be a pretty big drone. Let's do it. I need interior plates. Give me a second. Didn't grab what I needed. Boom. All right. So we are going to do. We're going to do. Let's see. Let's go out further this way. And up a block or two, and I mean that should be a good parking spot. So we're gonna go ahead and pop the connector right here. Now this is gonna be where the drone itself. Oh, that was a spider. No longer a spider. So it's gonna go ahead, gonna build that connector. We're gonna work on having a parking spot. I feel that's not even between, but I also feel that since it's an even number, probably an even number of blocks, I can't actually put it directly in between. So I'm gonna pop in here. I'm gonna sit on this passenger seat, hit K, and select remote access control. Okay. So since I have this thing under control, I can now fly over here. Now this has a sensor and all this other wonderful stuff on it. And you'll get used to flying things, but for right now, we're just going to try to park this bad boy. Because once we park this thing once, I shouldn't have to worry about it again. I feel like it's going to have an issue with the solar cells, but we will fix that eventually. I might just raise up the solar cells. So flip my view here so I can see this a little bit better. And keep going down until it finally is ready to connect. Bam. So this is all connected. This is all ready. So best thing to do is give your drone a chance to recharge all its batteries, get all its uranium set up, and then I will show you how to use the PAM Auto Miner. The best, honestly, in my opinion, it's the best auto mining script for mining drones I have found. I've gone through like 30 of them. And the rest of them, either the instructions weren't good enough, or they just didn't do what you really wanted them to, or something of the sort. Like, it was just something flawed about them. But this one, magnifique. Like, absolutely the best one I found. So, we'll be back after this bad boy's all charged up and ready to go. Alright folks, so while this bad boy is charging up, I'm going to go over some of the stuff with PAM here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to access the control panel. You've got a remote control, a sensor, and everything else. Now on the sensor, on the front of your ship, make sure to put the PAM in brackets. All caps, PAM brackets. I think you're supposed to do the same thing for the drills as well. So let's go ahead and look at the drills. Let's see. PAM. Bracket. Control C. Now, with my drones that I actually have uploaded, I have PAM on most of them already uploaded. So whenever you actually download the schematic, you actually might get the PAM script, which is a fantastic thing. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. But I will definitely put a link to PAM in the description below. But I'm going to go ahead and make sure to throw PAM on all this so we all know. Alright, so that's all there. Gyroscopes, not worried about those. Large atmospheric thrusters. Let's go ahead and hide these. Okay, well, they're still there. Go block and turn off. There you go. Batteries, all at 100%. I do like to name my antenna, so monster drone. So if I see the radar, like the antenna, I can know exactly what that is. I'm like, oh, what is that? It's like bloop, and it's like, oh, that's a monster drone. Okay, so we're gonna go in here and let's go on and type in PAM. It's gonna show everything, but I named my programmable block that is actually right next to the seat here, PAM. So this thing is fantastic. And the way this works is it all depends on if you have specific things on your drone. Now, since I have drills on my drone, it knows that it's a mining drone. So it's going to basically put itself in miner mode. So it's got it set up for a mining job and everything else. It's actually pretty easy to set up. So the way it works is you have it connected to a connector and you set up buttons. Now, you see how it says down here, it's like run arguments without type, without the brackets, up, down, apply. That actually helps you go up and down the actual menu. So if I type in down right now and I hit run, it'll slide down that. So what I like to do, go into here, hit G. Oh, well, I need to be connected. So we're gonna hit K, remote access, control. See? I already have it set up here. I have the up and the down already set up. Now the way you do it is you take G, you go to programmable block, find the one that's for PAM, and drag it down and tell it to run an argument and set it as whatever argument you want it as. So I have this already set up on here. So I have the up and downs. I have apply, which will allow you to go into the menu. And then I think I also have, do I have the back? Yeah, there you go. So the way this is going to work is you hit the apply button to record path. It has set your home, and we're going to go ahead and unlock the connector. So we're going to fly up. We're going to back out real quick. It is actually currently recording the path that you were trying to do. So I'm going to set up the path to go over, let's see, over here. So you see, the little nuggets that run around on the surfers on these planets and stuff like that? I'm going to get it to mine this entire nugget. So I'm going to hit K, remote access, terminal, info, show sensor field range. Okay. And then I'm going to hit V so I can see what's going on here. And I'm going to hit apply to stop recording path. And I'm going to go down to set up mining job. Now you see how it displays like a giant block in front of me? That is my path of my sensor. So it knows to mine this section. I'm going to tip it down just a little bit here so it's getting everything it can. It's going to grab all the stone out of here as well. Now this Auto Miner script actually has settings so it'll track basically it'll track what the weight of your ship is. So it has a specific percentage of the ship weight and of your what is it? Your power source. So if you have hydrogen, it tracks the hydrogen. If you have battery power, it tracks your battery power. So when it goes back to dock, it actually sits there and recharges, refills, and goes. So I've got a mining job here. Now, as I said, you can go back and forth and set this up. So I could make this go wider. I could make this go higher. I don't really need it because it's really a small spot. I'm not really too worried about it. I can make it go deeper. So I could make it go 50 meters in. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit start job. Apply. Now this gets loud. Pop out so you don't have to hear it. So what it does is it goes in by a grid. So if you have the sensor all set up in a block, it's going to mine out that entire block. Now me personally, I don't mind having a stone because stone is all of the ingredients that you'll need for building stuff except for the stuff you can only find in space, like uranium, gold, and, well, uranium and platinum, if I remember correctly. Those are the only ones you can find in space. But this bad boy is going off of what the sensor said, and it is going to work on mining an entire block. Okay? And if I sit here and let's say I go into the terminal and go to PAM. So you see right here, it shows my load percentage, it shows my battery percentage, it shows the state of my mining. It's mining, it still has 13 meters left to go. The progress of how much I've mined, of the job that it was given. I know this is a little loud, I'm probably gonna... Actually, you know what? I can fix this right now. There we go. Zoom out. Zoom out so you don't have to hear this. But yeah, so as I was saying, you go to PAM, it shows you all the stuff. It shows you your load percentage, how much you have, how much uranium you have, how much battery percentage you have. It has a minimum and a max for all of this. So it's getting heavy. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna return to the first part of this. So it is going to back up to where the job started. See how it went from where it started, it did 50 meters in, it stopped, it's backing out, and it's gonna go over one notch. Give it a second. Over one block over, and then it's gonna start going in. So it is a long process. Like, it does take a while for this thing to mine, but I'm telling you, you can literally, like, if you have a super huge mining ship that you've been using, all you have to do is slap a remote control on it, set up PAM, and then tell it to go. Like, set up sensors, remote control, and everything else, and it will go and mine everything. You can literally have a giant mining ship and go and tell it to mine an entire asteroid. So it's one of my favorite ones. It's so efficient, like it does so much, and you can set this to actually like dispense stone if you're one of the people who really don't like stone. As I said, I don't care. So once it's full, the path that you recorded on the way to where you wanted to mine is programmed into the script now. So it memorized exactly where it needs to go, the exact path that you took to get over here, and it's going to take itself back to the connector, your home connector. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn... I'm not... See this? I'm not doing any of this. This is all done by the script. So it is on its way back right now to the home connector. Now, the downfall is I have seen these things, they try to park, and sometimes they don't get it right and they slam into stuff. But I've also seen them do pretty damn well. But, as I said, that type of thing likes to happen. I knew the solar cell was going to be an issue there. All right, let's see if I can fix this. All right, I might just paint it white and rebuild it. Let's get it to land at least. You have enough space to land now? Well, this is a great time to show you one of the awesome benefits of the script. So, damage detected, right there. Okay? When it takes damage, it goes back and it stops its job. So it can either get repaired or do whatever it needs to be done. So I am going to... Okay, so, sorry. I might actually, I might just repair this real quick. I'll be right back. I'm gonna repair this. It should be okay. And I'm gonna adjust my solar array because it's too low. I had a feeling that was gonna be a problem, and it really did just run smack into that. But I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I feel that is a reasonable upgrade. I've got oxygen farms. I've got, I want to say, almost triple the number of solar panels I had before. I also have turrets and stuff up there that will get assembled as well, which I need to go check and see what they are. But I have actually repaired Zidrone, which I will need Zidrone's help so that I can actually continue building this solar panel monstrosity. So I've repaired the drone. Everything looks to be about the same, back to the way it was. So we're gonna sit down in the seat here. We're gonna go to view, then we're gonna hit K, and we're gonna reconnect. Control. and then we are going to go down and tell it to continue the job. So pull back here. Yeah, it shouldn't have, like that seems like enough clearance. If not, I'll just go ahead and cut it down some more. So it's just gonna go back. Gonna fly right back over to where it was at before, and it's gonna finish the grid job that it has set up. I actually was confused there because it turned on its drills, and I'm like, oh no, is it gonna do it in a different spot now? Like, no. This thing's more reliable than that. It just turned on the drills a little bit further back. Basically, when it got to the point where I stopped before I set up the job, it turned on its drills. So, here's this. Now, you can actually go in. Here, it's gonna be really loud here. You can actually go down to behavior settings. You can adjust the max load. You can adjust the ice, you can adjust the uranium. I think there's more to it. Nope. But there's a next. All right, so go next. You can, when done, return home. On damage, return home. Your work speed, like your work speed acceleration back and forward, you can increase that as well. So it's got a lot of good stuff to it. Like, this drone mining system is fantastic. Now, I know all I'm doing is sitting here just mining stone, basically, because I set it to go too deep. But you know what? I need silica. I need all that other stuff right now, and I've got a refinery that can power through it with no problem. I mean, geez. Give me a break here. But the Monster Miner drone is pretty great. Nice setup. The PAM Auto Mining system is fantastic. I'm probably going to do an actual total video on how to set up PAM and the different functions for it, because it has a grind function where you can have a little drone with a bunch of grinders on it and tell it to just grind a ship, and it'll grind grid by grid and just get through the whole ship. It also has a transport function where you can tell it to, if like you sit in the ship and you're like, start job, it'll take you in between the two connections. Like if you don't have a grinder, a drill, or a welder on there or anything like that, it will literally take you across the galaxy if it needs to. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep working on mining this stuff, and let's get the solar array up and going, and we will continue this shortly. Now here's the big test, guys. It's full again. Let's see if it manages to land and not crash into anything. You gotta give these guys like a wide berth. Like if you have a connector that you have like weaseled in between stuff, it won't do that. It'll try to. It will definitely try to, but it won't do it very well. So here goes. It's gonna land on the connector. Boink. Connected. It's gonna unload everything. You see the weight over here in the bottom right? It's at 182,000 kilograms. Now it is desperately just unloading all that as much as it can. Getting rid of all the stone, it's getting rid of all the iron, whatever materials you had in there, whatever you were mining, it's unloading this all in there. Especially with the use of the, nope, it's ready to go again. Especially with the use of the Izzy's inventory script, that thing is like ripping all of the ingredients, like all the stuff it mined out of it as fast as it possibly can. So, yeah, I mean, it landed, unloaded, it's going back to it. This thing's amazing. I really need to do a few specialty like drone and PAM videos just to really cut. This script has so much to it that it's unbelievable. So, building a drine, also working on the Titan base, trying to knock it all, both of it out, right? So yeah. Let's go over what the votes for the next video is going to be, because I'm pretty sure this practically covers it. I think I'm probably sitting at 20 30 minutes on a video, and I know y'all don't want an hour. So number one, more drones. I like more drones. I like doing it. If anything, I might try to do something like mining drones with defensive capabilities, like auto Gatling turrets and stuff on it. That'll probably be in another video later, but more drones. Seal up the Titan base so I actually have like an oxygen-rich environment that I can sit in. Let's see. Number 3, take care of this stupid raider that it keeps sending drones here, which I feel are eventually going to screw me over. So I feel like eventually that thing's gonna crash down one of those drones directly on top of my base, and I am not okay with that. I hate that. Hate it when they kamikaze stuff. I mean, I would kamikaze stuff, but these random drones shouldn't do that. That's crazy. Number 3. Finish the asteroid base and show atmospheric, not atmospheric, but space miner drones. Same system, pretty cool. One of my favorite things to do. I think I've got 3 or 4 of those designs actually up on my workshop right now. And 4, maybe go to the space planet and try to get, to the alien planet and try to get a base set up there. Not quite sure. It's up to y'all. But y'all come back and see me again. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I love having y'all here. Thank you for the 10 people that came out and actually decided to place a vote. I need all of y'all to place as many votes as you can. Link will be in the description below. Come out, vote, follow me on social media, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment in the section below. I'll get back to you. But y'all keep on surviving, and I'll catch you next time. Oh, and you know what I realized is almost every time I was on the drone, I was sitting in the seat. That drone is off mining on its own right now. Look at this. I think it's already almost mined through all the iron here as well, but it's mining out this big old spot right here. So, yeah, this is all like autonomous. Like you don't have to do anything for it. It's gonna get itself full, and then it's gonna come right back to the home platform by itself. Yeah, I realized that wasn't actually showing y'all with me like not on the drone. I was just on the drone explaining it. So I wanted to make sure to throw that in there, alright? But, catch y'all next time.